Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast. I'm your host, Sunx, and with me today, as always, is our sports analyst and expert, the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame in his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
That's right, Grumpy. That is you. So let me go over a little housekeeping about the show real quick. If you guys enjoy the content over here, and even if you don't, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comments. That way we can juice up that algorithm and get this show out to as many people as possible. We want as many people watching the show as we can, so that would be greatly appreciated. We usually shoot to have this show every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, if you do enjoy the content over here, we have another channel /show/podcast called the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. That's all New York Islanders hockey, and we host that every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So go check it out if you enjoy the content over here. So I'm done with my spiel, Grumpy. We had the final rounds of the college football playoffs.
Now we didn't do a show last week.
We did not do a show last week.
So we're going to be regrouping to do all the college playoff games that we saw over the last 2 weeks.
Correct.
And the NFL playoffs, which started today.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think we'll do a dive into college football first, then we'll get into the NFL playoffs, the first round. So I think it was just 2 games, right? 2 games over the weekend, or was it 4? No, 2 games. Did we cover the first? I think we covered the first round of the playoffs. Did we not? I could have sworn we did.
I don't know. I don't know. It was 2 weeks ago.
Why don't we just cover the most recent games? How about that?
Okay, that's fine.
We'll do Ole Miss and who was it? Miami that played, and then we had Oregon and Indiana.
Yes.
So the Ole Miss Miami game was close down to the end. You know, hats off to Ole Miss for playing without half their coaching staff there. I think they did a pretty good job. Miami ended up coming out on top. Happens. So it'll be Miami.
They're good defensively. I don't think much of Carson Beck.
No, they're a run first team.
And honestly, Ole Miss's defense is not very good.
No, their offense has been the best thing about them all year. Their defense is not very good. Their defense has struggled all year.
Do you want to know how bad their defense is? Oklahoma scored 26 points off of that.
Very true. And Oklahoma's offense was emaciated all season.
Terrible.
But the big game was Indiana and Oregon. And
I don't think we talked about Miami and Ohio State. I think we did our predictions.
We might not have. But anyway, Miami beat Ohio State. I mean, we're into the finals now, right? I mean, that's old news. That's old news.
All right.
And I think everybody knew the outcome that was going to happen with the Indiana-Oregon game. I mean,
Indiana throttled Oregon.
Absolutely killed Oregon. Killed them.
I felt bad for the Moore kid, the quarterback for Oregon.
He laid an egg.
He did. He's young. He's 20 years old, but he seems like such a nice young man that I hate to see. I don't like to see anyone just take I'm not saying he took a beat. I mean, he got sacked a lot, but just to make that many mistakes, everyone's jumping all over him. I don't like that. I don't.
Well, I mean, I hate to say when you play quarterback, it comes with the territory.
I know.
You know, if you lose, unfortunately, even if it's not your fault, you're getting blamed.
He's not a rah-rah guy. Yeah, but he's not a rah-rah guy. He's not an in-your-face guy. He's almost like kind of meek. I don't know how
they've even said that he's like quiet. He's like a quiet leader is what they say.
Very reserved. So I don't all right, he's not a showboat. If he was a showboat, I'd have less respect for him, but he's just a nice young man who had a really bad game.
Yep.
Everything
he really
that
struggled.
wrong for Oregon did. And X, are you believing in Indiana yet?
I think they're going to win the national championship. I mean,
that wasn't my question.
Here's what I will say. College football is extremely down. It's extremely down. Are they the best team in the nation? Sure. Yes, they are. That said, if they had this team in, I don't know, the last 3 years, they would not be making it to the national championship.
Everyone's comparing this team to the LSU team with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, sorry. Look at the difference in the numbers. Look at the difference in the numbers between the two.
Offensively, but defensively, this team's dynamite.
Yeah, sorry. I think Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson absolutely would put up 40 points against that Indiana team with ease.
I'm just saying that this team is much better than LSU's team was defensively.
Sure, not even close offensively.
I just
not even close. Cam Ward last year threw for 4,000 yards and finished 4th in the Heisman vote. The Mendoza kid throws for 2,000 yards, and you included just think he's the second coming. Like, I don't think the kid's that good.
I think he's really good.
Okay,
sure. I like him a lot. I think he's absolutely.
His stats say otherwise, but okay. If he's so good, he should be throwing for 4,000 yards, right?
They run the ball. They were a balanced offense.
Sounds like he's not that good then.
It means they're a balanced offense.
If they're required to run the ball every play, it sounds like they're not that good.
It means he does not have the opportunities that other players do. That's what it means. That's what it means. Because if they're running the ball a lot and they will run the ball and he doesn't throw it all the time, how is he going to put up the stats that other guys do when they throw the ball 50 times a game? He doesn't do that. But I'll tell you what, he's spot on accurate. He's good. He's good. And he's a winner and he's a leader. Here's the thing. I'm not going to say never, but when you see a guy come up on the podium to talk, everyone on his team, there are cliques within teams. Usually the offensive guys come up, the defensive guys could care less. They don't, hey, we're talking about the defensive guys. He comes up, everybody is hugging him, slapping him on, great job, before and after the interview. That tells me the type of person he is. I mean, I don't want to make this about the whole show about Fernando Mendoza, who's been great. I mean, he's got a great story, but they're good. They're good.
You also have to remember, too, he's 22 years old.
So what?
He's not young. He's not young.
Well, he's young to me. He should be young to you, too, X.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Carson Beck, too, right? Shocker, the teams that have the 2 oldest quarterbacks made it to the final. Crazy. Nobody would have predicted that.
It's the defenses.
Oh, so okay. All right. So the defense ran in the touchdown for Miami.
Those 2 teams have the best defenses in the country.
They also have the 2 oldest quarterbacks and probably the oldest teams in the country that were in the playoffs. It helps. Age helps. Age and experience absolutely helps.
They're good. All I know is
the average age for Indiana is like 23, 24, and 25. That's the average age of their players.
23. It's 23.
Okay. Whereas other teams are like 19, 20.
You know what else?
3-year difference.
I think they have
men playing against kids.
I think out of their whole team, they have, 8 5-star recruits.
Sure.
The whole team.
Do you think that a 19-year-old would compare against a 30-year-old better? Do you?
They're not 30.
They're okay. 23 and 19 is a big difference in age. It's a big difference in age and development and growth. It's a man playing against a kid.
Okay. But what are the ages of the other team? They're probably 21.
Okay, let's look up. I'll look up the average age. I'll look up the average age of.
I don't know why you're continuing to poo-poo Indiana.
Oregon.
I have been on top of Indiana since week 5 when they beat Oregon in Oregon. I said before that, I said, this is the test for me for Indiana, how they perform against Oregon. I mean, that's what I said.
19 years old is the average age for the Oregon Ducks football team. So you're talking about a 4-year age difference. It'd be like a middle schooler playing against a high schooler.
I don't believe that their average age is 19.
The average age for the University of Oregon football team is around 19 years old.
Around 19. So probably like 19.9.
It says for 2026 roster, it's 19 years old. That's this year's roster. 19. So it's 19 to 23. It's men against kids. It makes a difference. It definitely makes a difference. I'm not poo-pooing what Indiana's done. They're obviously the best team in the country. I'm just saying it's men playing against kids.
You can't even admit that they're good. That's the worst.
Okay, here's the thing. I think if this team played in any other era, they would not be winning. They wouldn't.
I disagree.
I think the talent in college football is extremely down. I don't think there's really good quarterbacks in college football. You're going to sit there and tell me that you think that the quarterback play in college football right now is just as good as it was 3 or 4 years ago?
I think that it's the same as it was 3 or 4 years ago. I think since colleges have gone to the spread offense, that quarterback play has gone down.
Or here, 2 years ago, you think it's as good as it was 2 years ago? 2 or 3? I say 2 to 3 years ago.
I think Mendoza is just as good as anybody from the last 2 years.
No, his stats say otherwise.
Again, he doesn't.
Cam Ward finished 4th, put up 4,000 yards.
He doesn't. It doesn't matter. It's how many times he throws the ball. He doesn't throw the ball
We already went over this. We
That's
already
right,
went over
that's
this.
right.
We already
And
went
you
over this
were
on another
wrong.
show. No, I wasn't. I
You
pulled
were
up
wrong.
stats. I pulled up stats for, I think it was who was it? Marcus Mariota, who's
No.
just another guy in the NFL, and
No,
he had
you
the same
brought it to-
exact amount of throwing
Yours
attempts as
was
that kid did.
Jaden
He had way
Daniels.
more yards.
Jaden
Oh,
Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. That's right. And Jaden Daniels had more yards on the same amount of throwing attempts.
No, it was not the same amount of throwing.
It was
attempts.
around the
It wasn't
same
close.
exact amount of yards.
It was an extra 100 throwing attempts.
No, it was like 20.
Okay, I'm not getting back to this argument with you. I just wish you would say, you know what? Indiana's damn good. They're extremely well coached. You don't see them making many mistakes out there.
They shouldn't. They're 23. Their average team age is 23. They're not kids.
So
Majority of them are third or fourth year seniors on their team who transferred 4 or 5 times.
That's not true. You realize that's
you don't think that majority of their team is made up of transfers?
It's not.
You're wrong.
The majority of their team is not. Now, they absolutely use the portal, but the majority of their team is not transfers. He recruits, Kurt Signetti recruits guys who are going to be there 3-4 years. That's what he does. He doesn't want, not that he doesn't want, but Indiana's not been able to get guys who are like, I'm just going to play a couple of years and go pro. They just haven't been that high profile program. They haven't.
Indiana's football team heavily relies on transfers, with a significant majority of their starting lineup coming from the transfer portal, as they successfully built their roster by landing established starters like QB Josh Hoover and several key defensive players. Transferring.
Josh, that's next year. That's not this year. Next year. They've already been in the portal this year for next year.
64% of their team starters from the transfer portal. 64%.
So you want to just continue poo-pooing Indiana.
So that's over half of their starting roster is off of transfers. I'm just saying a majority of their team are old transfers. That's what it is. Majority of their team are older kids. Their average age for their team is 23 years old.
What does it matter?
That's why they're winning. It's men playing against kids.
So it's not that they're good and they're extremely.
I think it's the fact that it's men playing against children.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I disagree. They handle everyone.
You disagree, but it's 19 to 23. Okay.
They handle everyone.
It's men playing against kids.
They handle everyone very easily.
Right. They're men. They're men. It'd be like taking an NFL team and sticking them out there and saying, hey, go ahead and play. I'm sure they'd handle everybody too.
All right. You're just crazy. You don't like them for whatever reason. Here's what I know.
I think that they're not as good.
4-10 in bowl games this year.
Majority of the SEC players sit out because guess what? They're going to the draft.
Every team does that. Every team has guys.
Really? What teams had the number one tight end? What teams had the number one tight end in the country sit out?
You want to know who's not sitting out? Indiana.
What other teams had the number one tight end in the country sit out? Can you name me that?
I don't even care.
Vanderbilt did. That's an SEC school.
The SEC's been miserable in the playoffs. If they didn't,
because they're good. Because guess what? The players are highly recruited for. They're highly anticipated for the NFL draft to get picked very high. So they all sit out because they don't want to get hurt. That's just the facts. They all sit out because they don't want to get injured. Because all their players are sitting out. Because all their players are sitting out.
SEC overrated.
All their players are sitting out.
Overrated.
All their players are sitting out. That's why all their players sit out.
Overrated.
All the players sit out.
The Athletic didn't know how the Big Ten has just owned the SEC in the last 3-4 years. Owned them.
I wonder why. Do you think it's maybe because Ohio State? Do you think maybe it's because Ohio State had the highest NIL spend last year? Maybe that's why. Spend the most money.
Let me finish talking, please. The Big Ten has dominated the SEC. This is going to be 3 straight national championships for the Big Ten. You could say how great the SEC is, but you know what they don't do? They don't win titles. That's what they don't do. The Big Ten does now. And here's the thing, if the Big Ten does it this way, the ACC, the team that you think Miami shouldn't even have made the playoffs, is in the final game. You want to know what? Because they're a damn good team. I mean, those are just facts.
So it had nothing to do with Ohio State spending the most on NIL last year.
You realize
that had nothing. You just want to discard that, right? We just want to poo-poo. No, that doesn't exist. That's in fairy tale land.
Now.
Okay, they spent the most money. So the teams that spend the most money on NIL are the teams that play well. Shocker. That's kind of crazy how that happens.
The NIL has evened the playing field because now instead of the money going out the back door, it goes out the front door, like for every other team.
Yeah, but Ohio State was never spending money on players. Clemson was never spending money on players. Oregon never spent money on players. Penn State never spent money on players. You're right. None of those teams did. Right.
The SEC spent more than every.
You're a fool to think that those teams didn't spend money on players.
Look at at Alabama.
They made the playoffs this year.
Are they even close to the team they were than when
they made the playoffs this year?
Saban quit when NIL came in. You want to know why? Because he knew that other teams are going to be able to play on a level playing field. Okay. That was the end for him. They were paying ridiculous amounts of money for players. Ridiculous amounts. Sure. It's just even the playing field. And the SEC with the only time the SEC has a 500 record is when they play themselves in these.
So what was their record last year in bowl games?
4-8. Not good. They've not been.
That was this year. That was this year.
No, this year they're 4-10. This year 4-10, and they were 2-2 against each other. They were 2-8 against everybody else. You know what they call that? A shitty record. They're not that good. They're overrated. They're not the conference they used to be. They're just not.
They were 4-10 last year.
4-10 last year. 4-10 this year. That's shitty, right? That's a bad record. I don't care.
Yeah. I'm letting you know it has to absolutely do with the amount of kids that sit out now for the.
I'm going to say they're just not good enough.
Okay.
Because when they have to play other competition, they have the rep of being the best conference. They've not been the last couple of years. They've not been, and this is going to be 3 years in a row. The Big Ten is going to win national championship. They're better right now than the SEC. They just are. Sorry. Hate to tell you. So going into next Monday's game, who are you picking? I mean,
it's going to be Indiana. I'm going to pick the team with the most age. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick the oldest team that's available around, and that's going to be Indiana.
I just can't believe that you've given them no credit all year long. And
I'm going to pick the average age of 23. That's what I'm going to pick. The teams that should have been playing in the NFL for about 3 years. That's the team that I'm going to pick.
Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. It's all right.
The team that has kids that should have been playing the NFL 3 years ago. That's the team I'm picking.
You're crazy. Indiana. Just admit they're the best team in the country.
Oh,
just admit it. The best team in the country. And like I said, I hope they win. And the Mendoza
I wasn't going to pull this up, but after you said that, I'm going to pull it up. Give me 1 second to pull this up. It's the thing that I showed you earlier today about them cheating.
Okay, it's invalid.
How's it invalid? How's it invalid?
Who put it out? Who put it? Has anyone reputable put this out? It's bullshit. Why? Maybe you should not do that until you get verification from somebody who's an expert.
It's okay. They're cheating. It's all right.
My God, you're ridiculous.
It says not only has Indiana been hacking into VEO/Pixelot software to watch practice film of other teams, but they have infiltrated most cloud-based systems which teams keep in their game plans on. This includes opening scripts. Funny, they jumped the first route today and returned a pick six. They know every sign and every variation the coaches on opposing teams plan for. Really? Michigan got fucking popped for that, and they got popped for that, and their coach had to sit out the first 3 games of the year.
Who said this? Who said this? Who said it?
Chris Falacia.
Who was he?
Verified person on X.
I haven't heard of it. It's not news anywhere.
Okay. Well,
he sounds like a nothing. He doesn't know anything. You know what he sounds like? He's probably an Oregon fan. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Just saying.
They're good. They're good. They're extremely well coached. They don't make mistakes. They're smarter than the other teams. They have no egos. They win. They're good. I'm glad they're winning. I'm ecstatic that if they win a national championship. I've been telling you they've been good all year long. All year long.
Yeah, just, somebody else did a comparison between the two, and I'll put this up.
And the SEC blows. That much we can just all admit. 4-10 last 2 years in bowl games, they suck.
Yeah, somebody put this up with they did a comparison between Michigan, which this was Michigan's record. Wow, really shit record the first 4 years that they had, and then magically they started playing really well. And then shocker, Indiana, really shit record the first 3 years. Then magically they started playing really well. You want to know what the two comparisons of the two are? They're stealing signs and stealing shit. Wow, crazy.
Okay.
Crazy. Okay, so when this comes out and then we find out that they were cheating and stealing, then what?
Stop. It's a Penn State site who's putting this out, right?
Doesn't matter.
Whitney Nation.
Doesn't matter.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like a jilted lover who's upset his team got beat. Okay. It's just made up. It's made up.
Okay. Yeah, made up because it doesn't go towards your
You
agenda.
keep on saying they don't play anybody. They
It's-
beat everybody they play.
It's made up.
Probably.
They're 23 and they steal signs. That's right.
They don't steal signs. You have no verification of that. You're just making it up. You're reading something that somebody put out. You believe everything on the internet. Everything.
I don't believe everything.
You believe, if you believe that ridiculous shit, you believe everything because it's made up. You know what is made up by people who are unhappy.
You know what? I guarantee a lot of people thought the Michigan stuff was made up too, right?
No,
Michigan probably thought that.
Michigan was popped.
What do you mean?
By the NCAA. That was by the
okay,
NCAA.
so what happens when Indiana's popped by the NCAA? Oh, I guess I just leaked it here first.
They haven't been popped by the NCAA.
What happens when they are?
Who says they are going to be?
Who says they aren't? Who says that they aren't? I bet you a lot of people didn't think Michigan was going to get popped, and then they did. It's the same thing.
When it came out, it was from the NCAA, not from some fly-by-night guy who was just throwing shit up against the wall. That means nothing. It means nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Wouldn't ESPN have jumped on this if that was the case? Wouldn't the NCAA have jumped on
there's
this
something
if that
that's
was
called
the
an
case?
investigation that
You know
has
what?
to happen
They're
first
not
off.
under investigation, though.
Oh,
they're not
okay.
under investigation.
When did Michigan become under investigation?
Doesn't matter. They're not.
When did
under
Michigan become
investigation.
under investigation?
It doesn't matter. They're not under investigation.
Okay.
They're not under investigation.
Oh man, you know what? I can't wait for the truth to come out and then you to be proven wrong once again. And
Just
then guess
say
what? I'll make
Indiana's
sure I
best
say
team
I
in the
told you so. The 23-year-old cheaters, the 23-year-old cheaters.
Oh my God, your hatred. You know what? Here's the thing. All you need to know is the SEC blows cock. They're worse than the ACC.
Okay.
Worse than the ACC.
Okay, gotcha. They're worse than the
They
ACC.
stink. They've been bad for the last number of years.
Based off of what?
They're
Bowl
living
games
on
that teams
rep.
sit out from.
They're
Okay,
living on
that
rep.
players sit out from. Okay.
Everything is rep.
Bowl games that
SEC.
players sit out from. That's what you're basing your logic on.
It's
You're basing your logic
rep.
on. Let's look at regular season games where we can do a comparison of head to head of which
they
team
lose
played
those
which
too.
team. You're wrong. You're wrong. Not in regular season games. They don't. Georgia
Yeah,
beat
they
Georgia
do.
Tech. Georgia beat Georgia Tech. That's an ACC-SEC matchup. Boom. Right there. Proven wrong.
The record,
Oh, my God.
the record,
Crazy.
You should pull up the Athletic article that I sent
No,
you.
you want to compare bowl games where kids sit out. Let's pull up regular season where the kids are actually playing. Where the best players in the country are actually out there on the field, not, at home on the crib, on the couch, chilling.
The
right?
Big Ten has been 10-2 against the SEC in the last 2 or 3 years.
And we're talking about bowl games, right?
No,
we're
it's
talking
just
about
period.
bowl games.
Period.
How many
Period.
SEC teams schedule Big Ten teams? There's
They're
one
coming-
this year.
they're
Oh,
scared.
Oklahoma beat Michigan this year, and Texas lost to Ohio State
They're
by
scared.
3 points.
They're scared. They're scared to
They're
tell.
real. Oklahoma beat
Yeah,
Michigan this
Very
year.
scared. They're very scared. I don't blame them. They should be scared. Big Ten's their
Oh,
daddy now.
my God, you're ridiculous.
It's the truth. It's all right.
You're ridiculous.
Oh,
It's all right.
look at the national championships. That's all I'm saying. Look at it. Look at playoff wins. Look at it. Okay. Oh, that's right. Here it is. The big size difference between Miami's heaviest offensive lineman and Indiana's heaviest D lineman. Strength versus finesse in the national championship game. Whose line will win this matchup? 6'9", 345, and the biggest
Defensive lineman
is
for Indiana.
6'302".
Yep.
Yeah. Well, because they don't get the prime time prospects. They don't.
I wonder what his age is. Maybe 25, 26.
Probably 17.
He's probably about 30 years old out there playing. Using his 18th year of eligibility.
Why are you so bitter? You just
I'm not bitter. You know what? Actually, now after your comments, I wanted Miami to lose. Now I'm pulling for him to win. Now I want him to win.
You hate Miami too.
I do hate Miami. I hate Miami with a passion.
How bad were you rooting for Mississippi?
A lot. I was rooting for Ole Miss a lot in that game.
Why?
I don't
Because
like
it was
Miami.
the only SEC. You've been butthurt with the
I
SEC.
do no. I don't like Miami. I don't like Miami at all. I don't. I never have. I've never liked Miami in any sport.
Your attitude over the last 3 weeks has gone down and down and down with every single SEC loss. Every single one.
No.
It's
been the same. Dude. It's been the same. It hasn't gone down at all. It's been the exact same.
No.
It stayed on the same plane.
I'm sorry, you're just wrong. It's okay to be wrong. You've been butthurt for weeks now because the SEC isn't what you think it is. It just hasn't been for the last number of years. Has not been. The fact is, you wanted to have 6 or 7 SEC teams in the championship game. You know what would have happened? They all would have been eliminated anyway, and somebody else would have won.
You're right.
They didn't deserve to have 5 teams in there. Right. Sorry.
We got the 30-year-old Indiana Hoosiers out there.
Well, whatever. They're 23 or supposedly.
You think they're filing for Social Security?
Probably not. Probably not. But you know what? I'm going to guarantee they graduate from college, not like the SEC guys. They all got IQs under 50.
They probably graduated 6 years ago.
Well, the SEC guys are never going to graduate. Okay. So let's just agree to disagree and say that Indiana and Miami, I think Indiana is going to steamroll them. I just think they've been.
I think Indiana, yeah, they're the oldest team in the NCAA. So yes, I agree. They will win the game
all year long.
Based off of age, they should win.
They don't have the highest rated prospects. They're just a really good team, and they play for one another. And you could see that these guys love one another.
Let me ask you a question. Would experience mean more than talent? Do you think experience means more than talent?
I don't think these guys have all that much experience. That 3 years ago, like you said, they were losing.
They're 23 years old. Their average team age is 23 years old. It's the same thing you see in college basketball. The teams that have players who have played with each other for a long time or have played in college basketball for a long time go further in the tournament than the team that's filled with a bunch of high-rated rookie or high-rated freshmen. That happens all the time, every year.
The guys who are the bigger, more physical, strongest teams are the one who wins in football. Football's different than basketball.
Oh, no, it's the same game. It's the same exact thing. It's a game based on athleticism. But guess what? The older, more experienced kids play better. Their teams play better and they go further.
They're just
NCAA basketball is a perfect example of that.
They're just They're just extremely well coached, and they play for one another. They're dynamite. They only play 13 guys on defense. You wear that? They don't have a deep team. They just play 13 guys on defense.
You're right. They got an old team. They don't need a deep team.
Oh, my goodness.
There weren't enough old guys to recruit.
Well,
they ran out. They ran out of 40-year-olds to put on the team.
I'm just stunned that you cannot admit that Indiana's a really good team.
They ran out of 40-year-olds to recruit.
They beat everybody.
Now I will say this was nice by the Oregon. I'll post this up here. This was really nice by the Oregon guy who's on the equipment staff. It says after the game, Oregon football equipment staffer went up to D'Angelo Pons and gave him the ball that he got for the pick six. What an unbelievable person. That's what college football is all about. I thought that was pretty cool. Here it is. Yeah, and he gives him the ball after the game.
Very nice.
I thought it was nice. Yep. Yeah. So that's cool. Because I mean, he absolutely could have kept that ball and just been like, yeah, screw you, kind of thing. But he's like, here you go.
Who would do that? You would do something like that. But most people,
honestly, I'd probably take a knife and cut into the ball. That's what I would do. I'd deflate it.
So bitter.
There you go.
So bitter. So unhappy. Yeah. So bitter.
That's right.
Bitterness is not a good look for you, X.
And then this was a play by which was really good by the 65-year-old defensive end for Indiana here on the left tackle for Oregon. He absolutely undresses him. This is wild. Oh, man. Looks like he about blew his knee out.
Whoop, whoop. Big guy couldn't catch up with the little guy.
Thanks. Who did that remind you of playing left tackle?
I don't know. No one I know.
No one you know. All right. Anyway, I guess we're done with our
So what's your prediction? Well, I know we have a show next Sunday, so I'll ask your prediction next Sunday. I'm sure we'll get into this conversation.
It'll be the same thing. The 30-year-old, the 30-year-old Indiana team is going to beat up on the children. So,
okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
I just we'll just agree to disagree on that. I'm sorry.
You don't think that Indiana? You don't think that Indiana's going to win?
I think Indiana's going to win.
So what are you disagreeing about?
If you remember on this show in week 4, going into week 5, I said this is the big test for Indiana. When Indiana beat Oregon in Oregon, which was their first loss at home in 21 games, I said, this team is for real. And they've just you poo-pooed them when they beat Penn State in the last couple of minutes. You poo-pooed them when they beat Ohio State. You poo-pooed them when they beat everybody. You know what? It's time for you to admit that Indiana's a damn good team.
I think they're a really old team.
They're really
good. And it helps them win games. That's right. I think that their experience and the fact that half their team can file for Social Security helps them out a lot.
It's sad.
I think it's crazy that a bunch of men are beating up on children. That is wild. That is wild. Anyway, you want to get into NFL talk?
Let's get into some NFL talk.
Sure. All right, let's get into some NFL talk.
Is there any comments that we have based on the NCAA?
I just have starred them. We can go through the comments first and then flip into NFL if we want to do that. I do want to hit one NFL comment. I don't know if you're watching the game right now, the Chargers and the Patriots. The Patriots threw an interception at like their own 20, and somehow the Chargers did not come away with points. I don't know how that's even possible.
Because they went for it on 4th and goal from
Wow.
the 2 instead of taking the 3 points.
Wow. Just
again, coaches are so dumb. They don't realize putting points on the board is the most important thing. In every single game this weekend, every single one. Freedom Fund Adventure says, "Oh my God, are they early?" Sun X, Chris Johnston visited Olympic Arena. No locker rooms done. Many holes in the exterior of the building. During the first test game, a large hole opened in the ice. No Islanders should go.
Agreed.
Okay. You realize they have these complaints in every single Olympics, every single one. In Sochi, they had no arenas built. It always gets finished by the time it's supposed to. Always. They're going to play. Matter of fact, the IOC was very happy with the condition of the ice and everything already. They were already very happy about that. James Farrell says, Philly lost on a field goal. Philly lost because their coach is a dope. And their offense has just been rudimentary and just basic the whole year.
Yeah, their offense has not been good.
They had an opportunity. They had an opportunity in the third quarter with the wind when Brock Purdy and the 49ers kept on turning the ball over at the midfield, and they just couldn't do anything to move the ball down the field at all. Everything's a run into the strong side of the defense. I'm glad they lost. They deserve to lose because they're too stupid. Nick Sirianni is a dope as a head coach. A.J. Brown was complaining. He dropped how many passes today? I'm sorry.
A lot.
And they're so talented.
And I will say I have some statistics on the game as well that I will put up later in the show.
To me, Philadelphia is they're the most talented team with the exception of quarterback in the league, but there's so many rifts among coaches and players that stuff just tears your team apart. Just does. Yep. And San Francisco took advantage today.
That said, I don't think San Francisco's going far. They're way too banged up. Way too banged up. And honestly, it's unfortunate for them. It really is. Their team is way too banged up to win, though.
They play Seattle next week, and Seattle really
good.
throttled them.
Seattle's defense is really good, and their offense is good enough to win.
Yeah, they throttled them 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
2 weeks ago to win home field advantage.
Yep.
Freedom says, for the first time in a long time, I have confidence in management and direction for my 3 teams, the Dolphins, Gators, and the Islanders, as much confidence as I have in Sun X being well fed on a Sunday night. Now, X, what did you have today for dinner, X?
We had steak, some chicken, and I think I had a hot dog. It was good.
Oh boy! Did you have any drinks? What kind of drinks did you have, X?
I think I had Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, and then I had some milk. I had some 2% milk, and then a Gatorade Zero Lemon Lime, which I actually just finished off right here.
Oh boy! And
shout out Gatorade, sponsor us. No,
did you have any dessert?
I did. I had a couple of cookies. I think they were
chocolate chip,
but I think the brand was Pillsbury Doughboy.
Fresh baked, right? Fresh baked. Warden gave some treats out. And did you take
good behavior?
Did you take anything home with you tonight?
I did take some food home. Yep.
What'd you take home?
A little bit of plastic. I took home another half of a steak that was there, and then I took home some potatoes, and then I think wife Y took home a blueberry bagel.
Incredible. I mean, it's like a restaurant over here.
Yep. Good, the way it should be. All right, next comment.
James Farrell says the Panthers and Green Bay choked.
I don't think the Panthers choked. I think the Rams really tried to keep the Panthers in that game.
They did. Now Green Bay
did everything possible.
Green Bay again. They had opportunities to put points on the board, and they didn't do it.
Brandon McManus, 3 missed field goals.
I mean,
I have clips of that too. So
that's a game that they absolutely should have won. They gave
Green Bay's coach get the boot.
They need to do something better. That's all I'm going to say.
Do you think Green Bay's coach gets the boot?
No, I think he's a really good coach. You have to be careful. Matt LaFleur is a good coach, but who are you going to get who's better than him? That's all I have to say. You got to get somebody better than him, right? James Farrell says, one more till Mendoza is a champion and becomes a Raider. I agree.
Yep.
And he's such a nice kid.
Yeah, get ready for his career to just cap out right there. Boom. He's going to a death franchise.
It's
the same thing. Okay, what happens with all these quarterbacks that get drafted number 1? What usually happens with them? They suck at the team they go to because that team sucks. Sam Darnold had to escape the Jets to become worth anything, right? couldn't do anything with the Jets, leaves them, becomes great for the Vikings, leaves the Vikings, becomes great for Seattle.
Now, the Chargers have the ball at the 2-yard. It's 4th and 2, and they're going to kick a field goal this time to try to tie the game up. We already read that one.
Yep.
Gungun says, freedom from adventure. I agree with you 100%. Mr. Horvat should stay put, or else he may injure his other foot. No.
Agreed. Shouldn't be playing. Don't want him getting injured.
James Farrell says, Grumpy, you're wrong about the Islanders losing to the Wild. Yeah.
No, they're just sticking to their script of beating the teams they shouldn't and losing to the teams that they should beat.
We will talk about that. They were dominated against the Wild. Totally dominated.
Ended up winning them.
And they wound up winning the game because of Sorokin and Gustafson's terrible in net. Terrible. The whole third period was in the Islanders zone. Whole third period. Freedom Fund says, my question is for Grumpy. Feeling better? I'm feeling much better, thank you. If Son X were to flex, would baby Liza be impressed? No.
Should be very
Son X, does Dog Z require a jacket when it's cold?
No, he does not wear jackets.
No sissy jackets required here.
Nope.
Freedom Fund adds, if a player under contract chooses to go represent their team and is injured, to the country they represent be required to pay their contract if injured for a length of injury, not fair to team? No. If you don't want to go, you just say you don't want to go. That's their option to go or not. No.
Well, it's different in different sports.
No, it's when teams know that guys are injured and they play them when they're hurt. That's different. They don't do that in the NHL. They don't do it. Guys get hurt. It's just part of being an athlete. You get hurt sometimes. Gunga says, Senor Waugh is correct in his assessment that the Islanders take turns contributing game to game. Duclair, Holmstrom, Casey, Grumpy. Remember when Joe Pistone categorized a Jewel as a Fugazi? You know who Joe Pistone is, X?
No idea.
He was the protagonist in Donnie Brasco.
Okay.
James Farrell says, if DJ Moore is smart, or the Moore kid from Oregon is smart,
go back in school
instead of getting, I guess, picked by the Jets.
I think he is going back to school.
He should.
Yeah, I think he is. I think they said that Mendoza kid obviously is going to the draft, and I think they said the kid from Alabama is declared for the draft too, who sucks.
Yeah, terrible.
But they said, that the Moore kid's going back to school, the Mateer kid from Oklahoma is going back to school, and then I think they said there was one other kid who's going back to school who were projected to go before the kid from Alabama. So, Arch Manning. Arch Manning's going back to school.
Yep,
that was the other one. Yeah.
Yep. Freedom says, I root for anyone playing the Hurricanes. They have the worst fan base. I don't think they're the worst fan base.
Yeah, their fan base is like, I hate to say it, nothing really. They're never controversial about anything. They don't create conflict.
They call themselves jerks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anybody who's a self-proclaimed jerk is usually not a jerk, but
James Farrell says the Canes are going to get a whooping.
I think so too. Those men, they're going to beat up on children. Very
possible. James Farrell says Drake May's first pass a pick.
Correct. Not good.
Gunga says, my two favorite poets. What are your thoughts on ex-NFL player Matt Khalil's ex-wife, Haley Bailey?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Commenting on the size of his pee-pee. Should they let bygones be bygones over a cup of tea?
Yeah, apparently he is suing her for defamation.
Now, I don't think he was talking about the size. I thought she was talking about performance.
I don't know.
Like he was like a limp noodle.
I have no idea.
James Farrell says Chargers went for 4th and goal and got nothing. In playoff games, you got to put points on the board. I'm sorry. Most points win games. I think it's important to put points up.
Yep.
Drew says, couldn't see most of the games today, but it's a great day for America when the Eagles lose.
No more fly, Eagles fly.
Freedom says, Sun X energy on age of teams. I think we are on our way to another X meltdown. Schaefer's no bull commercial came out 2 days after Brady's video. As suspected, the deal was done. I wore their gear for years.
There we go. Schaefer later.
He says Miami plays a weak schedule.
They play in the ACC. It's so hard, so difficult.
Well, I'm just going to say they played really well in this tournament. You cannot deny it. Drew says, don't you just love how the Yankees are approaching this offseason with their big acquisitions like Caleb Orr? I'm not wasting my time with this team. Aaron Judge should have signed with the Giants. the Yankees are losers right now. They don't want to spend any money. You hear the owner kind of saying, well, we didn't make a whole lot of profit, or, they make it sound like they've lost money. He's lying. He's absolutely lying. The Yankees make money hand over fist with everything they have in there. Just terrible. Just they're poor. Another team poorly put together. Freedom says Hurricanes aren't beat up like the SEC team. SunX is correct that many SEC top players sit out through the draft. SEC vastly superior. You have like a number 5 SEC team playing against other conferences' top team. Let's see. Georgia lost to who? Ole Miss.
So that's 2 SEC teams taking each other out.
Oklahoma lost to shitty Alabama team.
That's 2 SEC teams taking each other out.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason their record's 4-10. Otherwise, 4-10. Otherwise, it'd be 2-8.
Vanderbilt played against who?
Wildly overrated. They're wildly overrated. The SEC. They're not the same conference they used to be. Period. End of sentence. End of story.
How do you think? Let me ask you a question. How do you think Indiana would do without their top wide receiver on their team? How do you think they'd be playing in the college football playoffs?
They played quite a few games without him, and they still won everything.
What games they play without their top wide receiver?
When the Surratt kid was hurt, they just had somebody else step up.
And who were they playing against? Were they playing against teams that were in the playoffs? Were they playing against teams that were conference champions or teams that were battling for a conference championship? No, they were probably playing St. Mary's Sisters of the Poor.
They're missing their best defensive linemen.
Probably playing against Michigan State.
Throttling teams. Throttling them.
They're missing their best linemen.
Alabama. They destroyed
Alabama. I didn't think Alabama was that good.
They beat Oklahoma. They destroyed
the hell out of Oregon. They beat Oregon worse than they beat Alabama. They beat Oregon worse than they beat Alabama. So does that mean that Oregon's shittier than Alabama?
Is
that what that means?
38-3, I think they beat Alabama, right?
Yeah, and what did Oregon put up a touchdown at the very end of the game with like 2 minutes left?
What was the final score of the Alabama game, of the Oregon game?
Let me look it up. Oregon, Indiana game. It was 56-22, and then
34 points, and the other one was 35 points. So there you go. Here's the thing: they were similar.
38-3.
That's right. They dominated both teams. Dominated them.
So Alabama struggled to score points, but their defense was better. They didn't give up 56 points. And here's the thing: Indiana took the gas off the brake, or took their foot off the gas against Oregon, which they didn't do against Alabama.
They did against Alabama too. They played the Mendoza kid's brother at quarterback at the end.
Wrong.
No, it's not wrong. It's exactly what happened.
What were we talking about? The last minute of the game?
It was the last minute of the game. I think it was
the last drive. Okay, sure.
Last 2 drives. Here's the thing: they're good.
They didn't sit Mendoza out against. They didn't sit Mendoza out.
I don't see why you just can't admit that they're good.
I
just don't see it.
It's all right. They're not.
Freedom from the Bench says Ethan Bear and Isaiah George are playing again for Bridgeport per today's box. They rubbed the dirty Rangers farm team today. Rangers lost 10-0 and got beat up by Boston. Very true.
Boston, baby. Tell you.
Nazato 91 says conspiracy time. That's
legitimacy time is what we should call it. Legitimacy time. Trust me, when it all comes out at the end of the year, we find out that Indiana was cheating. You were right, X. I was wrong. I will never question you again. That's all I want to hear.
You're so bitter and unhappy.
That's all. That's all I want to hear. That's it.
Gungu says, I noticed a member of the Wild whacked their stick over a hard-fought loss last night and the blade went flying. Shouldn't this type of behavior be penalized before a player is left dying? Well, after the game, it is a penalty during the game, but not after when the game's over. Come on, it's not true. Andrew says, holy shit, Sun X is the worst loser. Your arguments are embarrassingly low IQ. Let me guess. Barca cheated today too.
Nope, I don't think Barca cheated at all. I think they were lucky to win off a deflection goal, but they didn't cheat.
Were you not whining about the Barca game today as well?
I never whined. I was whining about how bad Real was playing, and I was questioning their decisions for substitutions that they made.
But you are a bad loser. You're a very bad loser. Sore loser.
I guess I don't know.
I think you
should know. Name me another league that's come out and it admitted that 10 calls have gone against Real this year in the league. Came out and admitted it. Their VAR decisions, 10 of them went against Real this year. Came out and admitted it.
What about Atletico and Barcelona? How about them?
They've had 5 positive calls for them this year that should not have gone their way.
That's like a negative 15.
I don't know. And literally their CAT, which is their officiating, whatever their officiating group that they have for the league, came out and admitted that they've made incorrect decisions. So I will say that game, Real lost. They just lost. They had 2 opportunities in front of the net that they didn't convert at the end of the game. They had a lucky deflection goal for the 3rd goal for Barca. Barca deserved to win that game. I will stand here and admit it. Real did not deserve to win that game. They didn't.
As a Real Madrid fan, they're another team poorly constructed.
Yep.
Which is why they lose.
Yep.
They
didn't deserve to win today.
They did not deserve to win. Even if they would have won, they wouldn't have deserved it. They didn't deserve to beat Atletico Madrid in the semifinals.
No, now I will say that I don't think there was any questionable officiating or questionable calls that were done in those 2 games. I don't. There's nothing that I'm going to say that was questionable.
Were you not cursing that official before the game?
Before the game, absolutely, because he has been caught doing shady stuff before. Yeah, he has. He takes bribes. Not bribes, but he takes money from Atletico Madrid. He's known to do that. His business takes money from him. So yeah, I am going to cuss him out before the game. Don't be taking money from other teams. Don't be taking donations from other teams for your business that are involved in the league that you officiate in. Don't do that.
And during the game, you were also complaining about him when any call went against Real. When I said, "Oh, that should have been," I would not have been shocked that was a yellow. What was your first response? Well, what about
the Real? Right. My first response was, "Well, the Yamal tackle from behind should have absolutely been a card too, but it wasn't called." So I said, "Here's the thing: until he calls it on one team and doesn't call on the other, it is what it is."
Okay.
That's all I said. I didn't complain about him. I complained about him before the game because I said I wouldn't be shocked if there's some shady stuff that goes on. He's known for doing that. He's done it in the past.
Would you not admit that you were
Maybe he can give Jude another red card for saying F off. Maybe he can do that.
Would you not admit that you're a sore loser?
No, I'm not a sore loser. If my team didn't deserve to win, I'm going to say that they didn't deserve to win, and they didn't deserve to win today. They didn't play well. They missed 2 crucial opportunities at the end of the game that they should have converted. They convert those. I think they win the game because they had all the momentum going behind them, but they couldn't. They lost. It is what it is.
So, X, would you say that Indiana deserved to win every game they've played this year?
I think they are older than everybody, so they win. Yes.
So they deserve to win.
Sure. Based on their ability to be older than everybody else. Yeah.
Qualifiers on it.
Why not?
They're just better.
Why can't I put that in there? I think that there's reasons to why they win, and that's one of the big reasons. They're older. They're better because they're older. That's right. They have more experience. That is correct. That is why they are better. I think experience in college football, in college basketball, is more important than physical attributes. I think if you have more experience and are more technical at the game, your team can win. I absolutely do. I think that's why Indiana is benefiting.
I just think they're a more fundamentally sound and disciplined team. That's why they win.
They're older. Why do you think Why do you think they're more fundamentally sound and disciplined than other teams? No, it's the fact that they have grown men on their team, and the other team are built with kids. That's the reason why.
They are better.
You just said it yourself. You literally just said it.
They are better coached. They're a better coach team. They just are.
Okay.
Nazato says, Son X, I will concede there's a Yahoo article about the Indiana cheating, but it's sourced from Twitter, so I don't know if that's real news, but Yahoo did pick it up.
So I guess we'll find out what happens at the end of the year.
It's from Twitter. Anything from Twitter is false.
Oh, that's not true.
It says, is tuna fish best devoured when paired with mayo or balsamic vinegar? While we're at it, I'd like to propose a toast to Matt Schaefer signing with Tom Brady's clothing company with the finest liqueur.
Yeah.
Okay. Google says, let's have some carefree fun and predict which NFL team will stay out of trouble the most and make the Super Bowl. Should all NFL teams from now on put some money aside for parole?
God. Would be smart.
Did we want to talk about the Rashid Rice incident?
We can.
I just think it's interesting. Now, his girlfriend, does he have children with this lady?
They're now broken up. I don't know if he's got kids with her. I don't know if she's baby mama or not, but I know he's not married. No. But yeah, it was his girlfriend. And
how many times did she claim that she was assaulted by him? Over 10, right?
I didn't look at the amount of times. There's multiple photographic evidence, though, of assault that took place. And again, innocent until proven guilty. So I'm not going to jump on saying, oh, yeah, this guy definitely did it. I will say the evidence is very damning that's out there. But again, I'm not going to say anything.
Well, she has pictures and every other thing.
She does.
I will say the most damning thing to me is Kansas City's just laissez-faire attitude, once again, about people who commit crimes, whether it be sons of coaches on the team,
Kareem Hunt,
or other players on the team, Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, Rashid Rice, just name it, anybody. And they're just like, well, yeah, we were aware of the incident. Oh, you were aware of the incident, and yet you continued to let him play. Did you report it to the NFL? I don't know. I just think that they don't really care about the questionable character of a lot of the players on the team. It's a little disappointing. That's all I'll say.
Not to mention, so we have another. That's right. I did want to make this a Chiefs show. I forgot, but we can get in some Chiefs news. Some more information that came out on the Chiefs is, I know everybody knows the Walter Payton Man of the Year award is coming up, and this has been picked up by a couple other shows before. Travis Kelce is up for the award, and it turns out that his charity actually only donates 41 cents on the dollar to the actual kids of the charity. So essentially,
who's getting the rest of that money?
I think it's run by some of his buddies, and they are pocketing the majority of the funds themselves. So not a good look for Travis Kelce at all.
Not good at all.
And no offense, it's, even if he doesn't know that that's going on, dude, your name's associated with it. At the end of the day, you're an association just by name base alone.
Guilt by association.
Yes. Yes. So not a good look for him. Looks like his buddies are absolutely making a profit off of this charity. That's another L for the Chiefs. And then also they released a video. I don't know if I have it, but it's about how the Chiefs now, we all know that they're moving to Kansas. And yeah, there's some big issues with the taxpayer dollars that are going towards the new stadium and what actually the citizens of Kansas are going to receive from this, which is pretty much nothing. The money that the Chiefs are going to pay towards the stadium is going to be held in a fund that they can use at their own discretion. So it's not going to go back at all to any of the people there.
Like for bail money, stuff like that?
Probably, right?
Yeah, it's a real sweetheart deal for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is absolutely loaded, right? I mean, what happened here when Tepper tried to do that with, Rock Hill, where he tried to make the taxpayers of Rock Hill pay for that practice facility? The people of Rock Hill shut it down. They said, we're not going to be involved in this. We don't want to do this. They let the people have a say and have a decision in it. Whereas the mayor of Kansas or governor of Kansas, I don't even know who it is, but completely just did whatever they wanted to do. Didn't let anybody vote on it. Didn't let the people decide, just went through with it. And the people are going to pay in the end. That's just what's going to happen. They said that, these stadiums are supposed to, they always push it. Oh, these stadiums are going to boost the economy here. They're going to boost this. They're going to boost that. Well, they went ahead and did a study with SoFi, the stadium that opened up there. They said that it was supposed to boost hotel revenue by 2%. It actually, in majority of places, only went up around 1% or less than 1%. So they didn't make their money back on that at all. Okay. So, unfortunately, the people of Kansas are going to pay from this, and I feel bad for them. And I mean, essentially, they're getting the stadium for free. The owners of the Chiefs.
Yes, I agree.
Yep. That stinks. So I did just want to touch base on that, but we can get back to some comments, Grumpy.
Okay. Andrew L says, when the Islanders lose, can you blame the refs or start a conspiracy theory? As a matter of fact, what would be the conspiracy you would come up for the Islanders losing? They lose because they're not very good.
Poor play is what I would say. Poor play. Unless there's an egregious missed call, I would say it's poor play.
The Islanders tend to get an awful lot of benefit of the doubt calls. I'm just saying. It's not why they win games that
they shouldn't win, and they lose games that they should kill teams all the time.
Yeah,
it's like it's reverse.
Yeah,
I've been saying this all year.
Yeah, this team is
all year.
And we're going to talk about this Wednesday, but the Islanders' saves above expected is like ridiculous, top in the league. It's not even close.
It is top in the league.
Yeah. They've been the goaltender has been fantastic.
Yep. So my conspiracy as to why they win games is goaltending. That's what I'll say.
Drew says, I'm praying that Howie Roseman keeps Sirianni and Kevin Patullo for next year because they'll win for America. Also, I doubt A.J. Brown is an Eagle next year. AJ Brown, and he has no relationship with Sirianni. Sirianni's not a good head coach. He's not.
If you're the Bills, would you look at getting him if he's available?
Sirianni?
No, AJ Brown.
Ugh, no.
I'm just saying, who else? Okay, well, the Bills need to do something and get Josh Allen a weapon, man.
They do, but AJ Brown's not the answer. He's a guy who says he needs the ball all the time. You don't need.
Well, that's great because they have nobody else to throw to, so he'd be getting it every play.
Okay. Well, like I said, he's. I'm a no one. I'm an out. He's AJ Brown's in his 30s now, isn't he?
I don't know his age. Let me look it up.
Drew says X is clearly a chronic soda drinker.
I only drink soda whenever I'm over your house. He's 28. He's not 30 yet.
Okay, well,
close, but not 30.
Like he's 30.
Well, his hands look like they're 30.
Yeah, X won't do anything. I bet you all he does is drink like out of a puddle where he lives. But he comes over here and it's like, hey, I'm going to load up on drinks.
That's right.
Gungun says, Son X, I noticed that your bold prediction regarding Stranger Things that Edward Munson making a comeback fell flat. Grumpy, have you ever wore a top hat? A no for me on the top hat.
Yeah, I've never worn a top hat either. So.
Drew says, I agree with you, Grumpy, on the fact that Gustafson is terrible. I don't understand why Jesper Wallstedt hasn't become the full-time starter at this point. He's been the better goalie all year long. I mean, I know they got to give Gustafson some games, but still. Nato says, Canes do have a Long Island-born goalie, Bussy from Sun Beach. I didn't realize that's where he was from.
Nice.
Drew says, does Miami call themselves jerks because they eat so much jerky chicken? No.
Jerk chicken. No, I don't know. I don't like Miami. I just think their fan base is really obnoxious, and I don't like them. And that's Miami Hurricanes football team. That's just me.
Very true.
I just think their fan base is really obnoxious, and I just don't like their fan. But that's a lot of fan bases. A lot of fan base is really obnoxious, especially in college football.
Yes,
there's a lot of jerks.
James Farrell says, Son X, the Raiders, Fox, their offensive line, get really good players in the draft, get the right coach, can change.
Oh, sorry. Sun X, Raiders fix their offensive line, get really good players in the draft, get a right coach, can change this franchise around. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff they need to do. So an interesting fact about the Raiders this year, Ashton Genty had 1,300 rushing yards this year. 1,000 of those came with getting hit behind the line. 1,000 of those yards came from getting hit behind the line. So they can't run block at all.
Yeah, their offensive line
is hideous.
Their offensive line needs to get better.
They can maybe do what the Panthers did and spend the most amount of money on offensive linemen in the league. That's what the Panthers did this last year, and that really helped their offensive line out a lot. Well, definitely helped them out a lot. But then again, if you're spending all that money, you're not going to have money for wide receiver weapons or, tight end help, which, I mean, they Brock Bowers, so they're set on tight end, but you're not going to have money for wide receivers. So it's like you got to pick one or the other.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much money they have to spend. We'll delve into that in the offseason. But for me, you can turn your team around in a couple of years.
Yeah, in a couple. Yeah. It's not going to be an overnight fix.
Yeah, but they have the running back. They have the tight end. I mean, they need a better offensive line. They absolutely do. They're defensively, they're not a great team.
They're not. They have a lot of holes.
But the whole thing is you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You don't pick first.
How long is Max Crosby going to be available to play on your team, too? That's another thing. He's getting older. How long is he going to be able to produce? Because he's by far the best player on the Raiders defense.
Well, maybe they'll move him, get some draft picks.
What value does he have at this point in time in his career?
First for him.
I'd be shocked.
Okay. I mean, we'll see.
Remember, he's what's his age? He's got to be older. Because remember, he had the issue with drugs when he first came out into the league, and then he kind of got his life back together. But
yeah, I have no idea how old he is. Freedom says, Son X, if you want to escape the sweatshop, I think you may be a great lawyer. You would get in trouble for badgering the witness all the time, but you would be successful.
That's a good one. He's 28, by the way, Max Crosby.
28.
So, yeah.
So he's got some time left.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Next one here, Drew says
game where Jonathan Quick gave up like 6 goals single-handedly, won me my week in fantasy, despite my team doing their best to choke the win away. The worst thing about fantasy, I lost to TJ. I'm probably gonna lose to TJ this week. I look at the schedule the week as the week starts, and I can tell if I'm gonna win or not. If I have like 4 days where I got like 2 guys going, that's probably a week I'm not gonna win. when my guys are spread out a little bit, my team's unbeatable, honestly. Drew says, Grumpy, do you think Harbaugh is going to be the Giants coach now that Miami fired Mike McDaniel? Well, Miami hired a new general manager from, I believe it was from Green Bay. They were rumored to be looking at someone who had a connection with Harbaugh, but that's not the guy they hired. I think
Harbaugh's going to go to the Giants.
I think Harbaugh, it's either going to be Harbaugh probably or Stefanski going to the Giants. Harbaugh has to be number one choice. I think they want to go with an established coach. The last number of times they've gone with first-time coaches, and it has not worked out. So I think they're going to go with somebody established. Is John Harbaugh the greatest coach ever? No.
He's good, though.
Yeah, he's good. He'll make them roll respectably. Absolutely will.
Yeah. Oh, and in other news, Matt Ryan has become the head of football operations with the Falcons as well.
Yes, I think you already mentioned that.
Yesterday. Okay. I didn't know that I said that.
Yep. Drew says, I saw Diggs in the first quarter drop a wide open pass. All I know is if that was his former personal chef's neck, he would have squeezed that no problem.
My God. Well, that was pretty good.
Freedom says, I just want to say no player is bigger than the league. Thus, you can ban a player who gets into off-field trouble and be just fine. They just have a lot of those guys on the roster, it seems like.
Yeah, or they've had a lot through history. I mean, and I think we've mentioned this too. A lot of the guys who end up getting in trouble are always running backs. Always running backs. Running backs and wide
receivers, defensive backs. It's usually not linemen, right?
No, usually not. Some of them have been linemen, though, in the past. Some absolutely have, but
most are not, though.
Yeah, most are not. That's correct.
Freedom says, while forcing people in the league and younger guys to behave better, stop creating and covering for monsters and criminals. True.
Very true.
I think that's fair. Guggen says, is TJ finally at peace concerning his decision to leave the show? Son X, which one of your parents tends to go with the flow?
Grumpy is way more go with the flow. Yeah, I think you're more go with the flow than the warden.
Wow. Okay.
I think so. I think, well, I mean, you both are really structured, if I'm being honest. I'm more go with the flow than anybody. My whole life is go with the flow.
Okay. James Farrell says the Raiders have $100 million to spend. Well, there you go. You can get good in a hurry with that kind of money.
Yeah.
Drew says Harbaugh is going to be a guy who's our temporary culture changer, but I believe he won't get us to a Super Bowl. However, he should be priority number one. Well, he's won a Super Bowl before.
Yes. Yep. And then we'll get into some
NFL news
here. Yeah. It says, fun fact, you cannot spell Brandon McManus without anus. Let's go ahead and look at his 3 missed field goals.
Not just a long one. This is what? Is this 55 yards?
Around there, yeah.
Okay, 55-yarder. And it's just wide. It might have been short, too. That's a long kick.
Sure.
Long kick on a cold night. This is one he's got to hit. That's the one. That was the extra point, I believe, at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then this was the field goal.
Oh,
yikes. 3 missed kicks.
Yikes.
Bad.
Yikes.
Bad. I really don't know how you think he gets let go?
He's been a good kicker in the league for a long time. It's a long time till next season. So you never know what can happen. He had a bad night. Absolutely.
And then speaking about the Sirianni, A.J. Brown situation, Nick Sirianni and A.J. Brown with a heated exchange on the sidelines.
And the frustration mounts. Sirianni on, get off the field. And again, just a little colorful with this star wideout. They have a great relationship. It kind of makes a lot of that. I think it's 2 great competitors, and in the heat of the moment, they know how much they care for one another. Certainly Sirianni.
Oh, Tommy Boy trying to cover it up, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Tom Brady's trying to cover that up. Says that they have a great relationship. And then we have here, go ahead and play this real quick. It says, Tom Brady, they have a great relationship. A.J. Brown and Nick Sirianni. Oh my God. It's their great relationship that they have.
A little jumpy, but I get it. We get it.
Yeah, they're fighting. Okay. Yeah. And then, yeah, apparently a lot of the Green Bay Packers fans are very upset about a certain play here. It says, trending Green Bay Packers fans are calling for the team to release cornerback Keyshawn Nixon after he made a business decision at the goal line in the playoffs. Pathetic. Let's go ahead and watch this. Yeah, he jumps out of the way.
Okay. He's not stopping him there. He should have engaged way earlier. But you remember most of these, he's not stopping that play, but he should have. He looks like Cam Newton. Most of these guys, they're defensive backs. They don't want to tackle. They just don't.
Get off the field. Then get off the field. And then here was another disturbing video here. It says, this disgusting Eagles fans were throwing beer cans at 49ers fans as they entered the stadium. The local Philadelphia police did nothing about it, even though the San Francisco fans were allegedly being harassed.
Maybe they were just giving them, maybe they looked like they were thirsty and they were giving them.
I'm not going to play this with volume because I have no idea what is said in the video, so we'll just watch. So they're throwing cans at him, obviously. Yep, this guy's chucking cans.
Maybe he just thinks they're thirsty. That's all.
Well, they're empty, so they're throwing empty cups at him.
Well, they were just trying to keep the
flipping them off over here. God, always a Philly fan with a Brian Dawkins jersey on. Always a Philly fan with a Brian Dawkins jersey on. Flipping them off.
Finger salutes.
Yep, throwing more cans at them.
49er fans are smart. They were grilled on what it's like to go to Philadelphia. Just ignore them.
That guy's throwing blowing kisses to him.
There you go. See, there's nothing but love in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Reggie White made the game. Back from the dead.
Right? Oh, my God.
Look at him. Oh, boy.
Yeah, this guy's got a whole backpack full of empties that he's throwing at him.
What a shame.
Yep. Yeah. But that's what's to be expected in Philadelphia, right? I think we all know that.
All right. So do we want to talk about the NFL playoffs?
Well, yeah, I want to get through some more videos here real quick.
Okay. No problem.
We just have a couple more things to go through. It says, also, this is the Panthers running back. Rico Dowdle says his decreased carries at the end of the season will impact his thinking in free agency. He says he wants to go somewhere where he can get a bulk of the carries. Not good for the Panthers, right?
Yeah. Bye.
Let's listen.
Definitely got to take all that into account for sure. So, it is what it is. I don't control what I can control. Go from that, but that definitely plays a factor.
Why do you think your reps got cut?
No idea.
Because the other running back.
They never give you an explanation. How does that? Could you just expand on how that'll be part of your thinking?
Just obviously for me, just want to be a guy to go out there and just get the ball, trying to let it run. Like I said, I think my game just shows like the more I get throughout the game, the stronger, the better I get. So just want to take that into consideration from how it played out the last couple weeks. But we had two great guys in the backfield, so it'd be hard sometimes. The coach got to just find a way to figure it out.
Chuba Hubbard was the undisputed starter until he got hurt. That's when Rico Dowdle started to perform, and he did a really good job. When Hubbard came back, he assumed that lead role again. But it's not like Rico Dowdle wasn't getting any touches.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean,
right.
It was like 50-50. I mean, he wants to get 90%. Well, when you already have a guy back there who's really good, you're not going to get 50-50.
Yep. Now, Grumpy, I need you to control yourself here, all right? This is a little Tom Brady clip I put up for you. It says Tom Brady sharing how quarterbacks should adjust their mechanics when playing in windy conditions is awesome. Awesome. This is Warren Sharp posting this.
Do you think this video went over the top of just the probably 90% of the quarterbacks in the NFL?
Maybe.
I'm going to say yes. I'll bet you none of them do it. If you look at their throwing motions, they all throw borderline underhand. So they're not throwing with, just listen.
How to throw in the wind with Tom Brady. What do I do with this? You have I can't this. Yeah, so what you see, and I talk about the point of the ball a lot. You see it from this angle. This is kind of like a neutral plane. This one, the poise slightly down. When you're throwing into the wind, it has to be neutral. If the point of the ball is up, any wind friction is going to push that ball up over the top. So as a quarterback, you don't really like that U throw underneath because naturally that's going to point the tip of the ball up. You like more of a C or an inverse, a reverse C. That's how you kind of control the point of the ball, and then you can kind of just snap it off as you throw it. But in these windy conditions, you can't be underneath the ball. There's too much wind surface of the ball to knock it off its path. I got to tell you, that was a science lesson that I didn't know I needed. Well done.
Knows what he's talking about, right?
Yep. Some would say he's
How many quarterbacks throw the ball underhand almost?
a lot.
That's why all those balls sail. Everything's up in the air all the time.
A lot throw underhand.
It's the lack of fundamentals is what's ruining quarterback play and football in general.
And this here says the Eagles had 4 drops on third down versus the 49ers in the wild card round. This was more third down drops than they had in the regular season, as well as the most in a playoff game since ESPN has been tracking the stat since 2006.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
They didn't come up in big situations.
They did not. They fell apart.
AJ Brown, he dropped one in that last drive. It's like, dude, you sulk over there on the bench, you complain you're not getting it, and then you drop one right in your hands.
And this here says AJ Brown every time Jalen Hurts throws him the ball and he drops it. Look at his hands. He doesn't understand how he's dropping the ball. I thought that was funny.
Not if you're an Eagles fan, it wasn't, I guess.
No, not if you're an Eagles fan. No, it's not funny. And then we also had this is one last piece of Eagles news, and then I got one more thing to share. So it says when Eagles fans were booing Jerry Rice, so he pulled out his rings and started flashing them. Oh, this is nice right here. Yeah, sticking it to him.
Okay, why is he traveling with his rings?
Why is he traveling with what?
With his rings. He's just asking to get robbed. Aren't you in Philadelphia?
Okay, I don't think he's around the general population when he travels.
I just don't know why he's traveling with the rings to show them.
I'm just going to say that he's not with the Gen Pop when he's traveling around. So,
yeah. Okay.
All right. And then I have one last piece of NFL news that I wanted to share here. Ooh, hold on one second. Sorry, something popped up on my computer real quick. I had to get rid of it. Yeah, one last piece of NFL news here. And yeah, right there. 28-3 when the Falcons lost, and 21-3 when Green Bay lost. Yikes.
That was the first time that a team came back from a deficit of 15 or more in the fourth quarter since the Patriots did it against the Falcons.
Yeah.
Yep. Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan. Two
Not
losers.
good. Very true. All right, Grumpy, let's get to our NFL predictions.
Okay. Now, what did you think about the games this week? I know you were kind of impressed with them, right? Every game was tight.
Every game was tight, right down to the end. I immediately thought watching the Green Bay Bears game at the beginning, I was like, this game's going to be a blowout. And then Green Bay just stopped. It was like they just completely stopped playing. It's like they were just existing out there. And the Bears fought back and ended up winning. I mean, Caleb Williams didn't have a great game. He threw 2 interceptions.
He was good down the stretch, though.
Yeah, he was good down the stretch. He made a really nice throw to Roma Dunze right there towards the end of the game on a 4th down conversion that was really nice down the sidelines.
He's been really good down the stretch the last 3 or 4 weeks.
They come back. They're a team that comes back after being down. They really do. That said, I think Seattle's better than them. I have Seattle coming out as the NFC champion, in my opinion. That's who I have. Well, I don't really think much of the Rams.
I think the Rams are good. I don't know why they're playing the way they're playing now, but they have the easier matchup, right? Next week.
Yeah.
You have the 49ers are going to Seattle. They beat Seattle in Seattle, I believe the first week of the year. But when they came back to San Francisco in week 18, they lost 13-3, but it really wasn't that close.
Yep. Seattle's defense is good. Seattle's defense
is really good. And Sam Darnold has been pretty good also, right?
The only thing I worry about, though, is will we get the Sam Darnold that we got in the playoffs last year?
Well, if they can run the ball with Charbonnet
and Kenneth Walker.
And Kenneth Walker III, you're not beating them.
Correct. they're going to have to rely heavy on the run game because I think if it's left up to Sam Darnold, you'll lose. No offense to Sam Darnold, but in the big game situation, he just doesn't perform. He just doesn't. He just doesn't. Same thing with Jared Goff. He's the same exact guy like that. So
you're picking Seattle, and what did you think? So okay, you're picking Seattle. I'm also going to go with Seattle. Does Sam Darnold turn back into a pumpkin like he usually does in these situations? Well, he's got Brock Purdy going the other direction, and he has all the ability to turn into a pumpkin also.
Plus, the 49ers have way more injuries than the Seattle does. So I think that, if they were playing somebody else, sure, I think it would be, a little bit different situation. But I just think the 49ers are way too banged up to do anything, to go far. I'll say that.
And the second game is going to be the Rams at Chicago. The Rams are better than Chicago.
I think they are too.
The Rams
the Rams their special teams are so bad that them alone can lose them a game.
Their special teams are horrible.
Block punt against the Panthers.
I think they're going to be able to do whatever they want offensively against the Bears.
You don't think the Bears defense is very good?
I don't think they're great.
I mean, if they here's the thing. I'll say if the Rams are a team where if the Bears play like they did against Green Bay in the first half, they're not going to come back. I'll say that. They're going to have to their defense is going to have to be awake and aware, and their offense too is going to have to be awake and aware and not be asleep at the switch and turn it on in the second half of the game because it's going to be too late if you wait that long.
Every game seems to come down to the last possession. Before the last game, and the Eagles had their chance, the Eagles 49ers game, all three teams that were losing at the 2-minute warning won the game.
Yep.
It just tells you how, and the NFL loves this. They love it.
I'll say this is the first time where, and everybody here knows, I think for the most part, that I actively hate the Chiefs. I think everybody knows that. But
I never noticed.
Yeah, this has been fun. It's actually been fun watching the playoffs because there's not a team that I have to root against. It's been great. It's actually been enjoyable. I don't really care who wins. I would have liked to see Tampa in there. At the end of the day, they crapped the bed at the end of the season. They played like crap. They didn't deserve to make it in. That probably would have been the team that I was rooting for the most. I was somewhat pulling for Carolina, just to hope that they would win. They didn't end up winning. So now I'm at the point where I don't care. I wouldn't mind seeing the Bills win. I don't think the Bills are really good enough, if I'm being honest, to win. But I wouldn't mind seeing them win. But honestly, at the end of the day, I don't care who wins.
Yeah, for me, if you're asking me who I'm rooting for, it's for Buffalo.
For Josh Allen.
Josh Allen single-handedly won that game today against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a good team. Trevor Lawrence threw a couple. Did he throw 2 picks? I know he threw the last.
He threw 2 interceptions. He threw 2 interceptions in that game.
Josh Allen he's the best quarterback left in the playoffs. That's for certain. And it's not even close for second, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He threw a pass off his back leg, getting hit 40 yards downfield. He just flicked that wrist for a big play, which got them down, and they wound up scoring a touchdown. I was really leery. They got the ball. They had the ball at the 1. First, they called it a touchdown with 1:02 to go. And Jacksonville had 1 timeout left, and he was just wound up being short. And I'm like, okay, what should you do here? They could run that QB sneak anytime they want and get 4 or 5 yards. On first down, I'm just kind of maybe just plowing into the line and just going down, at a half-yard line to let the clock run down.
You were so upset.
I was, and it's that idiot Sean McDermott. And they wound up, of course, driving it in for the next play, 1:02 seconds left. And it's like, he threw the interception. It was a nice play by the defenseman. The ball was thrown well. And Sean McDermott got lucky because he does a lot of dumb stuff like that, giving other teams opportunities when that kicker for Jacksonville can hit a kick from 70 yards. You don't want to be giving him the ball at the 35 to start where he only needs 15 yards to be in field goal range. You don't want that.
And Trevor Lawrence turned back to Trevor Lawrence today.
Yeah, he threw a lot of sloppy balls, but Josh Allen looked great.
Banged up, but looked good.
He's really banged up. I'm rooting, but if you're asking me who I'm rooting for, it's them. We're talking about the last 2 games. Now, here's the thing: if the Chargers win tonight, they go to Denver and play in Denver. That's a game that's a toss-up. I might pick Denver in that one.
I'm picking Denver in that game.
If the Patriots win tonight, Buffalo goes to Denver. That's a game that I think Buffalo will win. And tomorrow night, you got the Houston Texans against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who just squeaked into the playoffs on a missed field goal by Tyler Loop of the Baltimore Ravens.
I got the Texans in that game.
Now, the Texans are really good defensively.
Not great offensively.
But they're really good defensively. I don't know how much the addition of DK Metcalf coming back to the Steelers helps them. It's got to help them some, right? And can Aaron Rodgers, dig up some magic from the past? That's what it's about for me.
Nope. Not against that defense.
Their defense is really, really good.
And Pittsburgh's defense has not been great this year. Like it's years past. Like their defense was elite last year. They have been terrible this year.
That's true. That's
terrible.
True.
They've dropped off really, really, really badly.
Yeah, that's true.
Get through some more comments.
Drew says, so who you picking, depending on who wins, who you picking for next week's games, Mr. X?
I've got well, I guess the next tonight's game we have the Patriots and the Chargers, so I'm probably going to go ahead and select. I think the Patriots are going to win tonight's game.
Okay, so Patriots against Texans, let's say.
Yeah, so I got, and then that game I probably have. I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I'm just gonna go with the Patriots. Okay. Go with the Patriots over the Texans, and then
Bills against Denver.
I have the.
It's tough to win in Denver.
It is tough to win in Denver because the climb, like the altitude. The altitude
very difficult.
I'm gonna say I don't know. I just think Josh Allen's gonna pull it out. I think if this is a year that Buffalo's gonna win, it's this year. So I think he's gonna pull it out there. I'm gonna just go against all of my standard thinking on this. I'm gonna say the Bills are gonna win. Then it'll be Bills against Patriots. I got Josh Allen making it to the Super Bowl. Okay. I got Josh Allen making it to the Super Bowl.
And I mean, and this is the worst team he's had, honestly.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
the worst team that he's ever been on. He's winning by himself, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all going to do with him being healthy, though. If he gets hurt, they're done. They're done.
And you're going with Seattle.
Yes, I have Seattle making it to the Super Bowl as well.
Okay. So and Seattle, and then you're going to say Chicago or the Rams.
The Rams. I'm gonna pick the Rams. I'm gonna pick the Rams. I think it's gonna be the same thing where, and as I said, they're gonna come out asleep in the first half and then try and turn it on in the second half. It's gonna be too late. That's how a lot of their games go. They lay an egg in the first half, the Bears, and then they turn it on the second half and end up winning late.
I'm gonna go Rams and Seahawks also.
Then I got Seattle beating the Rams.
And if the Chargers win, I'm gonna go Buffalo against the Texans or Pittsburgh, and I would go Denver over the Chargers. That's what I would, if that's the case. But we'll find out, tonight
soon.
on Monday. Yeah, pretty soon.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Grumpy, let's get to some of these comments. Wrap this up here.
Drew says Harbaugh is going to be a guy who's our temporary culture changer, but I believe he won't get us to a Super Bowl. However, he should be. Didn't we already read this? However, he should be the number one.
We might have. I don't know. I forgot where the comments ended.
Gungun says, "Do you think Billy Bell, maybe Belichick, is still rooting for the Patriots?" Absolutely not.
No, he hates them.
Grumpy, do you have any cats? I do not have any cats. We used to have cats, but we no longer do. Ever since the last cat we had was just the perfect animal, and when she passed away, we're like, no more pets. Drew says, by the way, X, show the video of the kids fighting on ice.
Yes, I had this loaded up here for today's show. I thought it was pretty funny as well. Let me get rid of this here real quick. It says, yes, it says a full-on brawl broke out at an AHL intermission youth game.
Yikes. Again, it means, oh, look at this. It's third man in, fourth man in. Boom! Everybody's going, where are the coaches? Where are the coaches?
The goalie!
Oh, look at this. They're hitting their own guys now. He's punching his own guy. Oh, this other kid's got a stick. Where are the coaches? Oh. Oh my goodness gracious. That's crazy, X. Where are the coaches?
Isn't that 2-on-1?
My goodness. They're not afraid to use this. Oh, there he is. Goalie boy. He's taking shots.
Hey, the goalie's got all the padding on.
The blindsiding guys, right?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. That was pretty wild.
Drew says San Francisco, the true city of brotherly love. Yeah, that's not true. Next, please. Google says, were the jocks in Revenge of the Nerds more likable than the current crop of NFL goons? Son X, any interest in visiting King Tut's tombs?
That'd be cool to see him. That'd be neat.
If anybody was going to do it, it would be you, right, X?
Yeah, it would be me. I'd visit him.
Drew says the Rico Dowdle situation to a higher degree is similar to what the Pats did with Stevenson and Henderson. Stevenson's under contract, so Henderson won't get the important touches. Same with Hubbard. The difference is Henderson is a rookie, so he didn't know the system where Stevenson does. Stevenson fumbles the ball a lot. That's a big issue.
Yeah.
Drew says same with Hubbard and Dowdle. Carolina paid Chuba the big bucks, so they're going to use him more. Yeah, absolutely, they're going to do that. Oh, James Farrell says R.I.P. Bob Weir. Do you know who Bob Weir is? It's a member of the band The Grateful Dead.
I know who the Grateful Dead are.
There you go.
They're the one with all the bears, all the different colored bears. Yeah.
Drew says when the Bills lose the playoffs, it's never Josh Allen's fault. It's always Sean McDermott's. That's true. That's true. Drew says, X, I have a theory. I believe My Little Brownie has been purposefully skipping podcasts because we're at the peak of NFL season. Thoughts?
It could very well be true. She absolutely hates NFL football. So I think that theory is not a theory. I think it's fact.
Could be the truth.
Fact.
Could be the truth.
But football's almost over, so we're gonna switch over to other sports. So. Yep. All right, Grumpy. I think that's all I had for today. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I just want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from Son X and the Grumpy Old Man.
Yep. And I want to thank everybody for coming out and listening. As always, love the interaction on the comments section. Good luck to the 30-year-old Indiana Hoosiers in the national championship coming up.
We'll be talking about them next Sunday because the game is following Monday.
We will be.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks, Grumpy.
My pleasure.